President John Dramani Mahama was sworn into office on the 7th of January 2013 after what many called a fiercely contested presidential election. The election, supervised by Chairman of the Election Commission, Dr. K.AWUKU, was declared a sham by 2012 presidential candidates of the largest opposition party, the NPP. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, together with his running mate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then chairman of the party, K.AWUKU, took the matter to the Supreme Court. After 8 months of legal battle, John Mahama was declared the validly elected president. President Mahama, in his first year of office, cited the election petition case as one of the major setbacks in running the affairs of the country. We shall focus our attention on some of the key bottlenecks, but first, some positive strides President Mahama has made so far. President Mahama cut the sword for the commencement of work on the $100 million three-tier Kwame Nkrumah Circle Interchange project in Accra. The project is expected to be completed in 2 years and is being funded by a credit facility from the Brazilian government and the government of Ghana. It is expected to ease the vehicular traffic usually experienced at Circle. Under the watch of President Mahama, Ghana saved some $279 million from revenue and from crude oil exports during the first half of 2013. In December 2013, President Mahama again inaugurated the final phase of the $800 million project in the Bono-Hafo region to complete the total of 404 megawatts of power projects to curtail the power outages which plunged the country in partial darkness from August 2012. Just before Christmas in 2014, President Mahama commissioned the $273 million water supply project, with the first phase of the project expected to pump some 40 million gallons of water by February 2015. Corruption was one of the major scandals that rocked President Mahama's government. JIDA, Super Info Solutions, SADA, National Service, and the World Cup fiasco. President Mahama vowed to crack the whip on persons found culpable of any corrupt activity, but civil society and pressure groups called on him to implement it instead of the mere rhetoric. Government communicators have, however, hit back at critics, citing the ban on award of new contracts as his commitment to fighting corruption. The fall of crude oil prices on the international market and government reluctance to reduce prices of fuel at the pump infuriated consumers. The minority in parliament and some civil society groups lashed out at government for refusing to reduce the prices at the pump, insisting government is being harsh on the ordinary Ghanaian. But experts say the move is to help government pay huge debt owed the bulk oil distribution companies, BDCs. Taxi drivers, in a desperate attempt to force government to respond to their concerns, hit the streets of the capital. After weeks of the back and forth, the National Petroleum Authority (NPA) announced a reduction in the prices of petroleum products by some 10%. The minority and other policy think tanks described the figure as a raw deal. Ghana resorted to a load-shedding exercise and has since been grappling with power outages and rationing when the West Africa gas pipeline, which supplies power to 200 megawatt Sono Asogli power plant, was ruptured by a ship. The power situation in the country worsened when the Achimota substation in Accra and the Abuaji thermal plant in Takoradi exploded in 2013. The hue and cry, which engulfed the country following the daily power load shedding exercise, was unprecedented. Till date, the erratic power supply continues to bite many businesses and households. The situation has led to the layoff of some staff and brought some businesses to its knees. During the Yuletide, most Ghanaians were spared, but shortly after the season, the load shedding exercise resumed. Labour agitations did not help matters too. From POTAC, NAGRAT, UTAC, the GMA, junior nurses, the judiciary, and the list goes on. To crown it all, 12 labour unions hit the streets in protest over salary discrepancies, unfavourable working conditions, harsh economic conditions, and management of the two-tier pensions allowance scheme. The Alliance for Accountable Governance, AFAX, Agbewodemo, and Occupy Ghana's demonstration put more pressure on government, who it accuses of failing to meet the aspirations of the people. President Mahama, after receiving petitions of concerns by the protesters, promised to meet their demands. During his New Year messages to Ghanaians, the president urged all Ghanaians to criticize constructively and join the will to deliver a better Ghana to all.
It's important that as we make our voices heard, we also respect the rights of others to have their voices heard as well. If we are to work together for the greater good of our nation, we must communicate responsibly. Criticizing constructively and focusing on solutions instead of merely dwelling on the negative, defending our opinions without devolving into threats or acts of violence. These are just a few ways that we can strengthen our union. And working together despite our seeming differences and all the superficial divisions, we will surely find that no challenge is insurmountable.